For topic two today, we are going to take a look at EvanMiya.com, friend of the program, Evan Miyakawa, who is going to come on the channel sometime this week. We were supposed to record it yesterday, but some technical difficulties for my favorite computer, Evan Miyakawa, EvanMiya.com.
The computers, huh?
Crazy. Had no idea a computer could have technical difficulties getting on a Zoom call, but we love Evan Mia here. Evan has his new rankings out. We have team ratings and player ratings and all the good things that you can find at evanmia.com. Make sure you go subscribe, support great work. That's what this is. And Evan Mia has been redefining the analytics game in college basketball for a while now, but he's constantly putting out very intelligent, unique, entertaining ways to process this sport and follow along. His player ratings are what I want to look at today. And if you've listened to us before on Evan Mia's site, the way it works is it all runs through something he refers to as Bayesian or Bay. God, I never remember how to say it. Do you remember how to pronounce it?
Bayesian.
Bayesian, not a
I think
Bayesian.
Bison.
He always texts me after, like, you did pretty good on that one. And I'm like, I'm never going to remember. BPR is what he calls it. That word and then performance rating. It's the sum of their offensive value and their defensive value combined, the ultimate measure of a player's overall value on the court. His database is out. It's updated for the year, preseason ratings. So basically, every player has a BPR. And you can sort by overall BPR to see a player's overall value. You can also sort by their offensive value and their defensive value. So I will read through the top 10 or so. I'll read a couple other names that jump out as interesting spots, and then we can react to it and maybe play a quick game of who are we buying, who are we selling at the prices that Evan Mia's model puts out. So number one player in the country, the only player with a BPR ahead of 10, and he's at 11.1, is Purdue's Braden Smith. No surprise. Yaxel Lendeborg, 2, ahead of JT Toppin at 3. Todd Pettiford, 4. LeBaron Philon at 5. Bruce Thornton, 6. AJ DeBonson, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, all tied for 7 through 9. So I'm going to ask Evan about that when he comes to the channel. Did he almost just like make sure that the 3 stud freshmen in this class that everyone argues over all have the same rating, or how did that work? Thomas Hoff from Florida at 10, JoJo Tugler, Houston, 11, Tama Visic from Illinois all the way up at 12, Condon for Florida, 13. So 2 of the top 13 players in the country in the Florida front court. Graham Ike, 14, Zuby Ejiofor, 15. Other ones of note to me just quickly, Nate Biddle all the way up at 17. Alex Caravan, UConn at 20. Richie Saunders, BYU, 22. Chad Baker Mazzara, 24. Donovan Dent, 25. Terrace Reed at 26. Ahead of Trey Kaufman-Renn, who's all the way down at 30 for Purdue. Below Pat Ngongba, Flory Badunga, Joshua Jefferson, and Terrace Reed. Kind of crazy. I'll throw it to you. What is your reaction to Evan Mia's inaugural player ratings for this season?
The Big Ten reigns supreme. I think that's the first one you got to go with, right?
There's some Big Ten supremacy here for sure.
Definitely some Big Ten supremacy. Also, a lot of star power, I think, throughout college basketball. I think, look, with BPR, like I think Evan's done a great job of like really explaining how it is calculated. Obviously we don't understand the actual, the actual formula to a sense, but he does kind of always back his work on kind of how it was, put forth. I think we looked at a team or we looked at a rating last year where like JoJo Tugler was a top 10 player in the country. Like that's how some of his stuff is weighted. I will say though, it is a little shocking to see like a Tom Visic at 12 on this, like above players like Milos Uzan, Edge, like some really behind, honestly, in front of some really good bigs like Graham Ike and Zuby Ejiofor and players like that. But yeah, I think interesting to see how high Tom Visic is for sure. Also, once again, Bruce Thornton is always high on these things for some reason, it seems like, and eventually he's got to do something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm in agreement with pretty much everything you just said. I have a couple, I guess I would call them like things I'm filing away in
Oh,
the Greg Waddell mental corridors for the season. Bruce Thornton, 6th best player in the country, better than DeBonsa Peterson Boozer. Any comment on that from you? Any thoughts?
he's not.
I mean, he is lumped in a little pod with Pettiford and Phylon. So it does kind of feel like these ball dominant score first guards have a place pretty high up in BPR. Like I would be a little bit surprised if Pettiford, Phylon, Thornton are all top six players in the sport this year, but maybe I shouldn't be.
I think you should. I think that'd be very surprising, and also I don't know if I want a year where Phylon and Thornton are top six players in the sport with all the stars that are in the sport.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think I think I think that means the sport's not in the greatest place as it should be.
Maybe.
Also, shout out to Jeremy Fears Jr., who is number 33 on this list,
Mm,
ahead of Darion Williams of NC State,
yeah. Yeah, that's
ahead
interesting.
of Oscar Clough,
That is interesting. That is
ahead of
interesting.
Robert Wright,
Yeah.
Bennett Sturts.
Yeah.
Bennett Sturts is 41 on this list, two spots ahead of Kylan Boswell.
You taking Bennett Sturts or Jeremy Fears?
Bennett Sturts.
Surprised you would admit that.
Why?
So I thought you love your floor general.
I do. I love my general.
I mean, maybe a reminder here, dude. Defense matters, right? You can get lost in like the offensive numbers of great guys.
I tend to forget that.
Well, I think that's why you would see guys like Jeremy Fears elevate a little bit, and guys like Bennett Sturts and Trey Kaufman-Renn dropped a little bit, right? Bennett Sturts and Trey Kaufman-Renn both have a defensive BPR of below 2. That's really bad relative to a lot of the other players at the very top of this list. So, I don't know. I was going to make the point with TKR, like, this is a pretty good serious indicator of a lot of the issues that we talk about. Like, it's great that TKR is an unstoppable offensive force. He was an All American caliber offensive player. His issues were Purdue's issues. And that's something Purdue fans seem to not want to admit at all. He's not a perfect player. If he was a perfect post player, there would be better rebounding rates and rim protection rates for Purdue last season. There weren't. That killed Purdue. They lost a bunch of games because of it, and then we made it all out to be everyone else's problem and not TKR. So Purdue fans are probably going to get fired up that he's 30th, but I think it speaks to something we've kind of hinted at, that defensively there's more issues there than anyone wants to admit. Let me play another quick game of like, can you believe this guy is where he's at? Otega Owe, 47th.
I can't believe that.
It's the highest Kentucky player on the team, I believe.
Ahead of, I mean, it's just Peyton Connerway's ahead of him.
So Kentucky doesn't have a top 46 player in the sport. But Mark Pope's old program, BYU, has 3.
Yes.
You buy that?
Provo.
I don't know.
No,
The
I do.
Owe spot's an interesting one to me. I don't understand why, because he's a great defensive player too. You know, why would he be so low on this list?
Yeah. What is the actual craziest one to you? Like the one you, because I like obviously me being a where I stand on like TKR, even like looking at the fact that you know some of the guys that are ahead of TKR is crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through and look. Like Jaden Quaintance for Kentucky's all the way down to 85.
The TKR's defensive BPR is so bad,
Yeah, he's a terrible defensive player.
but he's real like he is very bad defensively.
He's a really bad defensive player, and they just don't like admitting that. Solo balls outside the top 100. I found that interesting. So was Ryan Conwell. Roddy Gale was ahead of both those guys.
Who? Owen Freeman at 83.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff here.
Xavier Lee and Marcus Burton at 96 and 97, respectfully.
A lot of interesting stuff here. Carson Cooper only 3 spots below Koa Pete.
Actually, Jeremy Fears is 20 spots ahead of Elliot Cadeau.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 30 spots ahead of Jackson Shelstad. Michael Brown is 74?
Yeah,
Oh, I shouldn't have hit next page.
it's fun. Give me one player you will buy to outperform their ranking most.
Michael Brown.
74.
Yeah, I think he outplays that by a fair amount.
All right, I'll go Owe, 47. I think that's obvious. Give me one player you are selling the most relative to their ranking.
Ooh, Yaxel.
Really?
Haven't
That
heard
seems
enough
like
about
a
him.
like even if you don't like him at 2, you don't think he's gonna be like a top 10 player in the sport?
I haven't got enough updates, Gregory. You don't give me anything.
Yeah, okay. I feel like there's bigger drops than that in theory, but I don't hate it.
Uh, actually, and on a more like semi serious note, well, no, don't let me throw anything at you like that. Um, I think Thomas Hogg is gonna be really good. I don't think he's gonna be a top 10 player in the sport.
Okay. Could see that. Could see that.
Is it Tom Visage for you?
It's Bruce. It's got to be Bruce.
It's
I
definitely
don't
Bruce
think
for me.
anyone's going to consider Bruce Thornton a top 40 player at the end of the year.
That's fair.